Hello out there. I am Sabrina Walker Hernandez, and I am the founder of Supporting World Hope, a company I started after 25 years. So again, I am Sabrina Walker Hernandez, and I am the CEO of Supporting World Hope, a company I found after 25 years. And it is Thursday. And what does that mean? For most of you, you know, it is time for the blog summary. I posted a blog this morning at 9 a.m. as I have done for the last 59 weeks. That is right, 59 weeks of consecutive blogging. And I come on and I provide a summary. And the reason I provide a summary is because I want my busy nonprofit professionals and board members to be able to use these summaries in their mobile university. That means when they are in their car and they're driving from point A to point B, they can pull up these summaries and listen to it. Or if they're on their walks in the afternoon, they can listen to it while they are doing that, or exercise, whatever it takes to get you to have a valid mobile university. And that is why I do these blog summaries, because I remember what it was like, and who has time to read? You're kind of exhausted at the end of the day. And kind of that's what this blog summary is talking about. It is building nonprofit fundraising capacity, and it starts with the board. But I started off very clear, it's 12 noon. You haven't eaten lunch and you still have emails that you need to respond to. You have a donor meeting in an hour, and then after that you have several more meetings, and don't forget that you have to eat, and it's all a blur. But you know what? Somewhere in the back of your mind is the thought of building fundraising capacity. And you're like, really? That was my thoughts. So, and it's never seems to be enough time. And it's one of the challenges that we face in the nonprofit world, because we are often wearing multiple hats. And I remember those days. We're all wearing multiple hats. Makes us great employees because we are multi-skilled. When I say if you hire someone that came from the nonprofit world, you are getting an excellent multi-skilled employee. I really mean that, especially if they've been in that world for a while and they're transitioning out. Boy, are they hard workers. Are they motivated and dedicated to the mission of the company or the organization, and they will work hard and they bring a lot of skill sets to the table. But this conversation is actually about making the time to build fundraising capacity, because there should always be time to build that capacity, because that's what's going to take your org to the next level. But what I want to say and encourage you around is it can be done with small action steps that will allow your mission to have a greater impact on those you serve. And so the first major ingredient in fundraising is the board of directors. So let's focus on that. Let's focus on engaging your board. Whether you have a big board or a small board, the action of engaging your board can seem to be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to print your board roster or your list of board members, and I want you to start creating a plan that focuses on building a relationship with each of them individually. You're going to email each of them to set up a one-on-one meeting. And it's okay to feel a little overwhelmed at this point, especially if you have a board of over 10. But remember, it is not a marathon. Remember, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It will take time, but it will work. So to get the nerves out of the system, start with your favorite board member, or the person I like to say that will be your board champion. You know what? You're going to send them an email and invite them to lunch. If you're going out in public lunch during this pandemic, if you're not, you can invite them to a Zoom call. But I really rather make these in person if possible. If not, Zoom is still a face-to-face meeting, and people are very used to them. But you're going to let them know what you're going to talk about, and you're going to let them know that you're going to be talking about building fundraising capacity. What's going to happen, because they are your favorite board member for a reason, they're most likely going to be excited about it, and they're going to be very receptive to the message. They will even provide you with feedback on how to approach other board members. So you get the point. It's list, invite, meeting, repeat. List, invite, meeting, repeat. But you're going to space those repeats so that you don't become overwhelmed and add to the stress of what you're already doing. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So when you meet with the board members, though, you're going to make sure you're going to plan out how they can help you. You're going to go in knowing how they can help you. So you're going to ask yourself a couple of questions. Do you know what role you want them to play in fundraising? And remember, if you go back and read a previous blog that I have linked to this, and I'm going to recap it really quick for those who are using this as your mobile university. Remember, fundraising is not just about the ask, right? It is also about being a door opener. That means you have a board member that has a lot of relationships in the community, and they're willing to lend their credibility to your organization by sharing information on your organization with the people they are in contact with. They'll share the history, they'll share what activities the organization is doing right now, they will share the mission, they will share all of those things and share it with a wide audience. I will give you an example. I had a board member that said that she hates fundraising, she's never going to fundraise, and that's not what she do. Well, I will tell you that board member raised the most amount of money for our organization because she made the introductions. She knew the bank president, and she introduced us to the bank president. And that bank president adopted our organization as one of their top charities. And so they really embraced us. And they really helped us in our fundraising efforts. They gave us very qualified board members who in turn also fundraise. We had the president of the bank sitting on our board, and that is because she introduced us to the bank owner. We had the bank owner sitting on our advisory board, and they were not just sitting, they were actively making connections for us in the community. And as a result, she was one of our top fundraising board members. She never made an ask. So yes, people who open the doors can be a major fundraiser. You also have those people that are cultivators, and these people are willing to invite people on tours. They're willing of your organization. They're willing to also make connections, but really it's the courting process of fundraising. They are like I said, they're inviting people on tours, they're picking up the phone, they're making those kinds of connections. And so those are your cultivator types. And then you have the people that are thankers. Those are the people that are willing to sit down and write a thank you card when a gift comes in. Those are people that are willing to pick up the phone and make a thank you call when that gift comes in. Those are the people that are willing to continually engage that donor in the thank you process throughout the year, letting them know about the impact of the organization, letting them know about how their gift really made a difference. And so you need that, because the data shows that the reason why people don't give a second gift is because they were never thanked properly for the first gift. So that board member can have a huge impact on how many gifts you can get. So you're also going to ask yourself, do you have a specific call to action for that board member to do? You need to use that time wisely that you have with the board member, so make sure you have a plan. Once you have their commitment and it's confirmed, you're going to just follow up with them on a regular basis. you're going to send an email. Hey, it was great to have lunch with you. This is what we talked about. This is what we agreed to. I'm going to set up like a calendar that, you know, we can connect, and I'll reach out to you and follow back up to you, because they are busy professionals. And I think that's the one thing that we as the founder or the CEO or the executive director in the organization fail to remember. We are passionate about the organization. That is our life's purpose. That is our mission that we have said we're dedicating our life to. These are your board members. These are the people that are also passionate about the organization, but it may not necessarily be their life's work. And they are busy professionals with job responsibilities and families. And so you have to push them in a very balanced, delicate way. They will not get offended. They will find it very appreciative that you are following up with them and reminding them. Because as I had a board member once tell me, he served on several boards, but he said the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And so your job is to be that squeak and to remind them of what they committed to. So I hope that this helps you with your first step and moving towards increasing your fundraising capacity. You know, it's any small action that you can take towards this is going to be a great step for your organization. And if you have a step that you want to share with us that we can add to this, by all means, please reach out to me. And you can reach out to me and find all of my contact information on my website at www.supportingworldhope.com. And I'm going to close this, like I always say, I'm going to close this, and I never really do close it because I love to talk, y'all, and I always have some additional, you know, tidbits to throw in there. So I'm going to try to end this really, really well. So here's my thing that I would like for you to do. I would like for you to, and I know I was supposed to give one call to action, but it just seems so impossible. So there's a couple of things that you can pick from. And if you do any of these, I would be so appreciative. So one, you can subscribe. So when I go live, you will get a notification. If you're watching this on YouTube, again, subscribe so you can get a notification, and it's right down at the bottom. And the second thing I am going to say is, if you have not joined my Facebook group, Nonprofit Professionals Exchange, you are truly missing out. I have a great community of nonprofit professionals and board members, and I really try to provide information that you can use. And some examples of that information is, like tonight at 6 o'clock, in about 30 minutes, I'm going to go live in the group, and I'm going to provide live Q&A coaching, and it can last anywhere from 30 minutes at a minimum to an hour, just based on how the conversation is going and the questions that are asked. I also provide a free technology tool or free resource, because the word technology scares people, but a free platform every single day that a nonprofit can use, whether that's access to free furniture, whether that's access to a tool that can help you with organizing, whether that's access to a free fundraising platform. Man, there's so many free fundraising platforms. There's Give Lively, which is the one that I use for a board that I serve on, but there's Lord, I'm starting to quote things and I can't remember. There are several, okay? So I know Give Lively because that's the one I use for set up for my board that I serve on, and that's the one that's in the top of my mind right now. But every day at 2 o'clock, there's a free platform that goes up, you know, like Bloomerang has a Bloomerang Lite, and that's a CRM platform that can be used to help engage and track your donors. And so I think that's real critical information that you need to have as a nonprofit, but I understand you don't have the time. I remember you don't have the time to research all those tools and try to figure out what's free and, you know, all that stuff like that. So I really encourage you to really join my group, Nonprofit Professionals Exchange. And again, that is all I have for you. And I wish y'all the best, and I wish you to be blessed. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my blog summary.